Hello again and welcome to another quick techniques lesson. In this lesson we will be learning how to create the choppy ocean in oils, and this will be in a realistic sense. It's also the second part of our seascape painting, which leads on from our clouds in oil paint techniques lesson. So let's get into it. We'll be using the same colours as we did for the clouds lesson, with the addition of Viridian and burnt sienna. I've got a collection of medium-sized Taklon brushes, and I'll be using the Mont Marte Gallery series brush set. And this is the fine set, and it comes with 6 brushes. I'll also be using my new favourite tool, this giant palette knife. I love this. Now, the first step is to lay down our underpainting, and we're going to do that in cerulean blue, and we're going to do it in acrylic. The reason I'm using acrylic is because I can lay it down, it'll dry quickly, and then I can get the top coat on in one day. Now, it's not that I want to rush something as precious as creating art, but in the 21st century, we're all so time poor, so it just makes sense. So squeeze out some cerulean. As this is an underpainting, it doesn't need to be perfect. You might be wondering why we need to tint the canvas when we are going to paint a darker colour over it. But as the top coat is slightly translucent, this base colour provides a nice depth. So leave that to dry and we'll start the next step. I like to use a Mont Marte Easy Clean palette and remove the acrylic paint to avoid contamination. Now our acrylic underpainting is dry, we can lay it on our top oil coat. And we want this colour to be really rich, deep and dark. So the colours we'll be using are ultramarine with a spot of Viridian. And some phthalo too. Mix these together and ensure an even colour. The ratio is not really that important, but I have used the same amount of phthalo to ultramarine. Just make sure the blue is dark. Straight out of the tube, ultramarine and phthalo look identical. But when we lay them on the canvas and blend them in with the white, you will see the unusual hue this mix turns. Lay this colour onto the canvas and ensure the coat is even and thin. And thin is the key word. If this coat is too thick, then the ability to subtly blend in lights will be lost. First, we must establish where our swells are going to be. And we can do that by drawing them in with the palette knife. Now, our swells are going to be long rolling swells because I think that's a little bit easier to decipher. But individual swells can be handled in the same way. As well as drafting in the swell positions, by scraping away the paint, we are preparing the area that will accept the white froth caps. Now, I have created a couple of the swells here, and I'll show you how I did it, but first let's talk about the waves. Each wave has a light side and a dark side. And the trick is to blend that light side up into the dark side. Light side up into the dark side. There's a froth cap on top of the wave, and you'll notice there's these green parts that show on the wave. That is where the wave is thin and the light is shining through. So let's create this next wave. So lay on the blue mix. It will look darker as it is thicker. Follow the shape of the wave with your brush strokes. I'm using a medium flat to apply this. Once your darks are in, create a light blue from the blue mix and white. Charge your brush with this colour and lay it across the top of the wave. Now this light blue is in, drag the colour across the dark transition of the wave. This light blue is actually the reflection of the sky. Remember to follow the shape of the swell with your brush. We can now apply some of the Viridian green. and we apply this mainly to the top of the wave. Use the green straight for this. Now we can add a cap to our wave. So give your brush a good clean, charge the brush with titanium white, and we can lay it into the area on top of the wave where we scraped off the dark blue. I am laying this in very thickly so I can spread it out and so it conveys that frothy look. Now the froth caps are in, we again drag that colour back into the light area. This gives a sense of movement, and that light blue shows due to the froth dispersing. Don't take that light blue too far into the wave though, or the illusion will be lost. I now take a fine Taklon brush and charge it with pure titanium white. I can then lay this onto the cap and add any splashes of fine detail in, like little bubbles or areas of froth that have broken away from the cap and moved with the wave. These little detailed parts really make it, I think. Well, there you have it, an understandable set of steps to help you create a believable heaving ocean. And it's also ready for the next step where we shall be creating a sailing ship on our ocean. Well, if you liked this video and you're not there now, then come over to montmarte.net where we've got lots more free lessons. Once you're there, you might like to have a look at our blog or join us on Facebook. We've even got a family feed there where if you subscribe, you'll get free hints and tips to help you with your artwork. So until next time, keep on painting.